All right, so again, working with some complex numbers, which again is just things with I. And now I've got, so what you really want to pay attention to is, do the parentheses need to be there or not? And what am I being asked to do with them? So in this case, we've got a subtraction problem. So I'm going to pretend that this was an adding problem first. If this were an addition problem, then those parentheses wouldn't need to be there. The parentheses just separate stuff to look more organized, but they really aren't there. Just like if I put 3 plus 5 in parentheses, there's no reason why they're there except to organize. 3 plus 5 in parentheses is the same thing as 3 plus 5 without the parentheses. The parentheses just are there to make it look cleaner or nicer. So for whatever reason, someone decided that'd be prettier if this looked separate from this. But they don't need to be there at all. So if I was being asked to add this stuff, there's no arrows, there's no rainbows, because I'm not being asked to multiply. I'm just being asked to put the stuff that's the same together. So whether you're thinking about this with parentheses or not, the stuff that's the same is the stuff that looks the same, right? The things without the i's. 2 plus 10 is 12. And 15i plus negative 3i. Well, 15 plus negative 3 is the same thing as 15 minus 3, so I know that's a 12. And that's my answer, whether you have the parentheses there or not. But all I'm doing is I'm looking at the stuff that's the same and then following the instructions in the middle. So now let's pretend the problem, not pretend, but let's go back to the original problem, which had the minus sign in it. So if I have the minus sign, I'm going to, again, use the same strategy. 2 minus 10. So it's asking me to subtract the parts that are the same. So 2 minus 10 is negative 8. You can fact check me on Desmos if you want to. And then I'm going to subtract in order for the other stuff. 15i minus negative 3i. So again, I'm following the instructions. 2 minus 10. And then 15i minus a negative 3i. And 15 minus a negative is the same thing as 15 plus 3i. Sorry, 15i plus 3i, which is 18i. So let me show you just one more example of that, right? If I had 7 plus 19i minus 3 plus 2i. If somebody asks me to subtract, I just subtract the things that are the same. So 7 minus 3, that's 4. 19i minus 2i. 19i minus 2i is 15, that's positive. Sorry, 17i, and that would be my final answer. So sometimes they're pretty straightforward because it's just 7 minus 3 and 19 minus 2, so pretty easy. And sometimes there's a little bit of a challenge when you see additional work. So again, 2 minus 10, negative 8, 15i minus negative 3i. And again, you can type that all in the calculator. But remember, the i's can't be typed in the calculator, so essentially you're just working with the numbers out in front. So 15 minus negative 3 is 18 with the I. And remember, I and I don't make I squared. Apples plus apples is apples. Now, if you're multiplying the apples, that's a different story. So remember, I plus I is 2I. You've got two i's there. I times I is I squared. I can put some numbers in front. 7i plus 3i, 7i times 3i. 7 i's and 3 i's together, that just makes 10 i's. 7 i's times 3 i's, that's when things get a little weird. 21i squared. Now remember, I squareds turn into a negative 1, and so together that makes negative 21, if I really wanted to be precise. Hope that helps.